amazing and wonderful people on this earth. Nemo Ashong here, founder of Enjoyment and pioneer leader of the World Joy Movement. I have to let you know, one thing that I did not want anyone else to know is that I don't know and I don't have a plan. And it feels absolutely wonderful to just come out here and share that, because what I've realized in the last few weeks is that a desire, let me really be real with you here. As I've been building up my business and as I've been working with people on inclusion, on empowerment, on transformation, on being more visible in the world, on going from the intersection of fitting in by settling to the new intersection of belonging and possibility, I've been finding myself caught in this loop, caught in the loop of knowing what's possible for me and also not seeing it out in the world. And what's been transpiring for me has been realizing that a lot of the reasons for this here is that while I have a deep inner knowing of the fact that I can make this successful and what it is that I believe needs to come out into the world, there's a part that goes into a protection mode of how do I make sure that this is right? How do I plan it? And how do I convince other people that that I know what I'm talking about? How do I convince other people that I have the answer? And I've just been noticing this trend of creative energy that wants to explode for me, this trend of giving that I want to be able to share with the world, to have them engage in conversations, whether it's one-on-one, in a group, or with one another, around some really difficult topics, around some of the things that they don't get a chance to talk to anyone else about, so that they can really be all who they are and be fully expressed in the world and create what they're meant to create. Well, if I'm going to be real, if I'm going to be real, I have to go first. And I have to be honest. This is the part of my expression that I've been trying to hide. My models of success have come from a lot of different variations of amazing teachers who've gone out and really come in as the thought leader, the expert. They come on, they have 4 minutes worth of video that's teaching you a very specific topic, a specific theme, and then at the end of it, you feel inspired, you feel motivated, and then eventually they'll invite you to come and do a course or something with them. I'm different. I'm not interested in teaching a course or having you buy an online course of mine. I want to sit down and work with you, but I don't have too many models of what that looks like. And I've been spending some time trying to figure out, how do I do this? What's the plan? And so we're going to flip things around. If you need to know this, I didn't have a plan the day that I met my wife, or the day I was introduced to my wife. I had a friend of mine call me randomly after busy season. I had finished a bottle of Chateau Saint Michelle Gewürztraminer, and he gives me a call and says, "Hey, I'm going out in New York. Would love to go out with you tonight." He hadn't called me in 4 years since we graduated college. I ended up going out with him. No plan at all to meet anyone, no plan to even go out that night. And it led to me being married to my wife. I didn't have a plan on where I was going to college. I call it the Big Red Book. One day I was in the middle of, I was just in my house, and my parents come up to me and they say, "Hey, Cornell has sent you a thing to apply. You need to do this." I'd never even heard of the school. Never even heard of it. So when I look back at what has really worked out for me, it's just been being there, showing up, plan or no plan, and just making things happen from the sense of knowing what we want to get done. What is our intention here? And so I wanted to just offer this here. I'm not coming in with anything that I need to teach. There'll be other times I'll work with people around breaking this down into specific steps and such. All I want to do right now is just create some space. If there's something that you know that you want to get done, but you don't know how to get it done, I want to just create the space to say, go for it anyway. Declare it, put it out into the world, and then make it happen, one step at a time. I'm on my way right now to my co-working space. I have a fairly good idea as to what I want to be working on. Enjoyment is really evolving as a community. with a small group program that I'm taking people through, and also multiple programs that are coming up around being unapologetically you, understanding your unique talents and strengths, and being able to leverage that out in the world. And what I'm finding is just this huge creative energy that really cannot be tempered into individual plans like done an incremental basis. For me, this is what works for me. I don't know. And that's okay. In fact, it's beyond okay. I don't know, and that's my secret weapon. It's part of what makes me so powerful as a coach. I don't need to know your world. In fact, if I knew your world, I might actually believe the same things that you did. And then we're both in the same place. It's one of my greatest strengths. It's one of my talents. So I want to offer this to you here before I take off and I get the good work done. What's one thing, for me, it was today around having to know. But what's one thing for you that you feel is necessary before you can get started? What's one thing for you that you feel if other people knew about you, they would trust you less, they would think less about your credibility? And look, I wrote the words that I wrote here, and I'm saying these words very deliberately, knowing that a lot of people are going to be turned off by the fact that Nemo doesn't have everything figured out beforehand. And that's okay. We would never be a good match. But for some of you, it's going to be exactly what you needed to know. That regardless of having the plan, that regardless of all this here, I'm still showing up. And so I'd like to ask you to think for yourself, what's that thing that you feel that you need before you start taking action? And what if that thing that you felt was wrong, was missing, was a thing that you needed to hide, was actually the very thing that made you spectacular? And then go play with that. I don't know what's going to be for you, and that's amazing. Here's to your exponential success. Journey on.